Dr Swamy, strictly speaking, India has lost an opposition leader, but it was actually much more than that, isn't it?
Yes, quite true. He was a person who had been Prime Minister, and he was a leading contender to become Prime Minister in the elections, so it was not an ordinary loss.
It's been said of Rajiv Gandhi that he entered politics reluctantly, but that in time he became cynical and manipulative like his mother before him. Is that fair?
That's probably overdrawing the picture. He perhaps was a little more idealistic when he came into the politics, and then he began to understand the various wheels within the wheels, and he began to operate some of them. But I think right till the end, as I knew him personally, he always retained a sense of humanness, and I don't think he was the run-of-the-mill politician over the course of time.
Now, it was expected that he would win this election, albeit without an overall majority. Given his death, is India now effectively without a leader?
I wouldn't say that, because I think the richness of our democracy is that we have leaders who come up to fill the vacuum. This happened when Nehru died, and it happened when Mrs. Gandhi died, and we have had peaceful transitions over the last 40 years from one government to another. So it's a big loss, but I think we will survive.
You say that India is a democracy, and indeed we talk of India as being the world's largest democracy. But given what has happened now, given what happened to Mrs. Indira Gandhi, do you believe democracy has ever really taken hold in India?
I think so, because the real reason why democracy is the only viable system for India is the plurality of the system, and the plurality of interests. And the only way we can keep all our people together is by having democracy. And I think what we are witnessing is part of the transitional process of building up a modern nation. And if one has to look back in history of other countries in the same period, you would see things were much worse. I don't see this. These deaths are very, very tragic and a great loss, and something which sets us back. But essentially, it's something which will overcome.
Is there any politician in India of sufficient stature to replace him?
I don't think that that's a real problem. In fact, throughout the campaign, the present Prime Minister, Mr. Chandrasekhar, was perceived as a far more able leader than any of his competitors. The problem was that his party was not sufficiently strong at the grassroots level. And Mr. Gandhi's appeal was not so much in terms of his ability, but in terms of providing stability. So as far as the ability is concerned, Mr. Chandrasekhar scored above all his rivals.
Do you therefore... I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think, therefore, there's any dearth of leadership in the country.
And what of the future for India? Will it be a peaceful future?
Well, I think we have tough times ahead because some things are catching up with us. I certainly think that the kind of Stalinist model we adopted in the economy has not produced the results, and the expectations have risen high. So that's one area of conflict. Then the social tensions have grown because of the greater awareness of their individual rights. All these have to be worked out through a system of consensus. But I think the future of India, I have no problems at all in visualizing a very healthy future for us. But I think in the next 2 to 3 years, we are going to have problems. But given the native intelligence of Indians and the cultural background that we have, I think we'll overcome it.
Dr. Swamy in New Delhi, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.